This is one of my insecurities. My insecurities. Morning, fam. We're in my backyard today because I wanted to show you my orange tree. I originally planned a story about when I was in 6th grade, but then I didn't want to sit in the living room floor again today. So I was actually up last night for quite a while thinking about what I can do and say or do. And then my orange tree popped up in my head. And then I mostly stayed up because I was just thinking about how to tell the story of my orange tree. By the way, here's my orange tree. Alright, so there's some controversy behind this orange tree. But first, let me give you some quick facts about this orange tree. This orange tree used to be this huge, big bush. Like it was like a bush, all right? After Thanksgiving last year, we hosted a family friend of ours, the Petries. We hosted them, and then I was talking about it with Bill. He's been in some of my videos. And he was looking at the orange tree, and he's like, have you ever tried to prune it? I was like, yeah, I have. But then, so this orange tree, another fact about this orange tree is that it has these thorns. I don't know if I'm showing these thorns. So it has thorns all over every single branch. And so one time early on when we first moved in here, the orange tree, I tried to prune it because it was just ugly. I tried to get in there to like the main parts of the branches and start cutting them off, but put the orange tree in the background, but like I couldn't reach in there and not get scratched by these by the thorns, and it was like scratching up my arm. So I stopped and I was like, you know what, useless. I was like, whatever. So so another quick fact about the orange tree is that when it hit the drought, I think maybe like 4 years ago here in California, we stopped watering it, our whole lawn and grass and everything for that matter, but we stopped watering the orange tree. And then after that, after we stopped watering it, there was this one, it was like its last season. It had it produced 3 good oranges, which is why it's an orange tree, right? So, and I was the only one, actually there was one more person who had one, but I was the only one in the immediate family area to have one of these oranges. No one else did. It was a really good orange, to be honest. One of the best I've ever had, maybe. I'm not like critiquing oranges ever in my life, but it was really good. It was really sweet and juicy. And so, yeah, so there's that part of the orange tree. So when Bill told me to prune it, or I should prune it, I gave it some more thought, and I was like, okay, let me try pruning it again. So instead of going deep into the, like it was bushy out to here. I don't know if you can see the depth, but like, so here's the main part of the tree, and then it was like bushy out to here, like long. It was a big bush. So instead of like going straight in to where the main part of the tree is, I started clipping away slowly, you know, just in the front face of it. And then once I got like the front face, like a hole in the front of it, I was able to get into the main branches. Who would have thought? And so I clipped away everything. That was last Thanksgiving. So another fact about this orange tree is that people don't believe it's an orange tree because I was the only one that had one of the fruits of it. When we stopped watering it, the what fruit that it did produce looked like lemons. And you know those lemons that aren't Meyer lemons, but when they grow, they're just they're not perfectly circular, and they're just like a weird bumpy shape. Well, that's what they all look like. And so, granted, a close family member of ours, I will not say their name, called it a lemon. She's like, oh, your lemon tree, lemon tree. The person was like, your lemon tree, lemon tree. I'm like, it's not a lemon tree. It's an orange tree. It's an orange tree. Because I've had the fruit. Another thing about it is, Melinda's not helping me out with this cause because she recently, I guess a week or so ago, they picked one of the yellow ones off of the tree and they opened it up and they smelt it and they tried a little bit of it. I mean, they're not ripe, right? So she's like, it's a grapefruit. It tastes like grapefruit. It smells like grapefruit. It's not a grapefruit. It's an orange tree. And then, where was I after this? So she opens it up, says it was an orange, says it was a grapefruit tree. Not a grapefruit tree. Doesn't even look like a grapefruit tree. Anyways, our neighbor has a grapefruit tree, and they're big. They're big grapefruits. These are small. Look, they're small. I don't know. So either way, so this is its last year. If it doesn't produce good oranges, I'm chopping it down. Because what's the point? I pruned it, I fertilized it throughout the year, kind of throughout the year. We watered it. Yeah. Dang, there was something else I wanted to say about the orange tree. I will remember when this video is over. I guarantee it. Anyways, shoot. After the ball stopped rolling, like I was on a roll. I was telling the story and just like it was flowing. I felt myself flowing with words. And then that point where I just forgot what I wanted to say, and that's it. Well, such is life. So, good thing I had a backup story. So this is one of my insecurities. My insecurities. Earlier this year sometime, our sink drain kept clogging up, and we had to call like the plumbers a few times. And so they came in. The second time they came in, they were like, all right, we can do like this super cleaning of your pipes and stuff like that, but you have to have this system. It's an outside, they have to have access to the drains from the outside. And I guess all the new houses have this access from the outside of the house into the main part of the drain, the piping, but we don't because we have an older house. So they're like, okay, we have to drill into your wall to get into the pipes so that we can clean this properly. All right. But the thing is, they don't patch up the wall, even though they tear it out. So they're like, we source from an outside contracting place, and then you can go to them. But I was going through my DIY phase, and I was like, no, I'm gonna patch this up myself. It's been about a year, and it's right here. This is my hole in my wall. And we went through the rainy season last year with it. I put a box over it and I taped it, and I put like trash bags over it so that none of the rain would like ruin the house. But this year, okay, this is my promise to you, fam. I'm gonna call today a general contractor, have him come and patch up this wall sometime. I'll set an appointment. But it was, you know, this is my way of being accountable. You know, if I'm telling you, then I feel like I have to produce some results, right? That's what accountability is. Keeping people on track. Anyways,